So what I'm doing, only I need to get started on is sort of the idea of a light circle, which I did there, and then I go right into details. This is sort of how I work. Because obviously I've drawn him many times before, so I don't have to do a lot of research and pre-sketching. You know, I just go right into it. But the funny thing is, I think I mentioned this before. When we started on the design of these characters, you know, we knew he was going to be called Scar. So where's the Scar going to be? On his back, you know, or his shoulder. We had meetings about that, Scar meetings. You know, that's why the Scar ended up right over his eye unit. And we never really explained how he got it. I always thought during a fight, you know, somebody's kind of scratched him and barely missed the eyeball, but hit sort of the eyebrow. So that's why we have this empty space right there.
Did you ever consider doing the Scar, like just have it like have no people in it?
No, we didn't. We had I mean, the overall design of Scar came actually pretty quick. The only thing I didn't have were these like cheek hair things. You know, I actually had the main sort of mane going right over his face like that. And I said, well, just add a little cheek hair. That was the only change. That was it. I mean, Mufasa is the boss, you know, and the king of the pride, and Scar isn't. I actually did a few drawings where I made him really scrawny and super skinny, but that didn't look menacing enough, you know. So you have to find the right balance between beefed up and skinny. And I also studied the voice actor Jeremy Irons, and who's kind of a tall, skinny guy, you know. So, and this sort of looks a little bit like Jeremy Irons, who recognized himself actually in the character. When I showed him the first pencil animation I had done, he looked at the monitor and go, "Oh my God, he looks like me." And I said, "Well, that was kind of intentional," and he was okay with that.
Actually, like for the baby character, like they actually had an actual cigar, like for him to sort of like hold, like and had to sort of use like a string or something like that to move that around.
We had strings and armatures and wires everywhere in that set. It was everywhere.
Like, when I was looking at it, I was like, oh, there's no way this movie would be made today. Like they would just like oh, we could just like CG it.
Oh, it would be so much easier these days. It would be so much easier because we had to do it the old-fashioned way in the pre-CG days. So yeah, the door, and she's just standing there, and the first thing she asks is like, "Did you ever kill anybody?" And that was just so her, you know. And you can say, "Did you ever kill anybody?" You can't do a lot of that stuff. It's just a little, "Did you ever kill anybody?" A little head turn, you know. That's all. So you have to know how to do something subtle, really subtly, which isn't easy. You know, it's easy to move a lot, but it's very, very tough to keep something alive that really doesn't move much. Big thing, I just did a little curlicue down there. And let's see, for his ear, instead of doing a realistic ear, I just did a curly.
I love how you're approaching it like a Greek face, ironically.
Yeah, we like I said, we did have a hard time with all these different faces that we tried. And then I met with Gerald Scarf, and I said, let's just go back to some cliches. Let's look at some Greek statues. So then you have these cherubic eyes, these big lips, you know, straight nose. Just find those on these statues. I said, we just have to use that. And that probably wouldn't be as funny as Eric's, because that was perfect casting, that he did that character. I would have done something more tangible, something with anatomy, you know, and all that. That would still reflect Robin Williams, but in a different way. So in one way, you could really say that each animator would have done that part differently. So if you had Eric Goldberg doing Jafar, it would have been a completely, not even just a little bit different, like very different.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that personal. We put our personal stamp on these characters, you know. So like it or not, but that is me on the screen. In CG, it's a little bit less the case.
Yeah, because there's multiple people doing
exactly. Exactly.
They try as much as they can to kind of hide the fact that human hands made it with CG.
Yeah. So. All right. Which else? Jafar. All right. Okay.
Some of that era, who are some of your favorite sort of story artists that you sort of admire and look to?
Story artists?
Yes.
Nothing more than I would probably have to say Bill Peet. I think that man is an absolute genius.
Yes.
The way he single-handedly not only storyboarded sort of the South, all those sections are really his. That comedy and those characters are really his. He single-handedly storyboarded Under One Dalmatians. Didn't do that great with Sword in the Stone because that was also his. Somehow he had a funny handle on that story. It's not bad. It's still good. But it's not as bad as some of his previous work, I thought.
Stone, like for example,
The Wizard's Duel is amazing. Yeah. And visually and even gag-wise, you couldn't knock that. That was a brilliant sequence, you know. And some of the animators who worked on it, like Milt Kahl, thought, no, it's actually one of his favorite movies that he ever worked on, Sword in the Stone. You know, so he felt like he had all the freedom to do what he really wanted. He loved Merlin, he liked the owl, you know. And Frank and Audie were a little bit different, reflecting on that film. They said we never really had the warmth between Merlin and Ward that we had later on in Jungle Book with Baloo and Mowgli, and which is true. There was a lot more warmth there and going on in the way these two characters were related. But I still think it's a fun story. It's not Bill Pete's best. I don't really go home and look at my stuff. I just don't. I see that at film festivals or when there's a screen, special screen. But I do not look back on because it's kind of painful. There are these little moments where you go like, well that's okay, right? Like the scene that I just mentioned with Jafar and Jasmine. That interaction, I don't think I could do that better right now. While there are many other scenes I could do better now. So yeah.